Imaginary events in which I am the emperor and I occupy India or an exotic kingdom. In exchange, I give them some decaffeinated coffee, and in return I get the whole empire. It's a parody of the way empires were built and the tricks and the violence and all this stuff. So it's a mixture.
I've been doing this series for about 14 years. So I've been making this kind of faux historical narrative for 14 years. And I decided at one point to do site-specific narratives. So whenever I arrive at a place, a city, a town, a village, a country, whatever, I decide to talk about that place, to make that place more, to make the story more impactful to that particular place, because my story is a global narrative. And so I have a story about pretty much anywhere in the world. So when I got a chance to come to Trento, I was like, wow, like this place has a lot of interesting history.
My name is David and I work with my wife Jarmila on these wooden paintings and ceramics. The painting with the birds, the woman with birds, is like a celebration of famous communist revolutionaries like Che Guevara or Karl Marx or something like that. So it's like, why not? Because we had one painting before about elixir, about mixing chemical elixir which make your bird grow very fast. So why not try it on a woman?
The destiny of all empires to rise and fall, it's in all three of our works in quite obvious ways. But then each work has some quite obscure, private symbolism and so on. Yeah.
So I'm a painter and I paint history, and I talk about race, class, gender, politics, a lot work. But I usually tell the work through a comedic lens, oftentimes because the weight of history sometimes is a little hard to absorb. So it's not, I wouldn't necessarily say that it's comedic, but I would say that it is farcical almost, because that's the way for me. I found it as a way to truly digest the tragedia y triunfo, like everything, the tragedy and the triumph, the highs, the lows, everything. And so that's what I do.
Folklore was for the political regimes of 20th century, and till now still is a tool how to, it's some kind of populist tool, and every regime was using it, like for making people happy. They did some folk dances or some special rituals which was before just for some villagers. But now politicians come into the town and they do this ritual, and it's like it doesn't have this meaning except some kind of popularity gaining, and so this is what interests us: how the folklore became a tool for I don't know, politics.
My relationship with especially Andrew has been a long time coming. I mean, like, I've known this guy virtually for like a quarter of my life. So, to actually be here, to meet him, to exhibit with him is a real treat, really fantastic.
The idea of the exhibition, The Fate of Empires, at Studio di Arte Raffaelli. I had it in my mind to do an exhibition with Umar Frohawk since somebody 10 years ago from Russia saw his work in California, sent me an email, look at this. I was quite shocked and amazed because there are some obvious parallels, similarities. So I wanted to do this for a long time. And then I think last or 2 years ago I visited the studio of David and Jarmila in Prague when they were still living there. And pretty much the day after I left the studio, I wrote to Camilla if she thinks this exhibition would be possible, because I thought this combination would be really great.